Some things are never left unsaid.
Amazing, beautiful.
That was a quite an awkward like
Start
little
into the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And we have our new silence thing.
Wow, you upgraded your water bottle. Now it's a glass bottle from Fürslauer, which is a more upper brand, like a upscale
What was
brand.
it before?
I don't know. It was always some. Well, tea. First of all, you were drinking tea, but now I switched to tea. I used to drink water only, and now I drink green tea. You used to drink some chai, right?
What are the benefits of green tea? Like, why are you drinking it?
Oxidation, and it's good for digestion, skin. I don't know what else it has, but apparently it's very tasty.
Good.
Very healthy. Yeah, I got this from my sister. She imported it She was in Japan a few months ago, and then she brought it for me. So it's a really good Japanese powder and not just a tea bag.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good.
Well, speaking of sister, it was my birthday the other day, just a week ago, actually, exactly a week ago, and well, my sister just shows up in front of my door out of nowhere and completely took me.
Why don't you tell the whole story, man? It's not like we're running out of time on the podcast. Tell the whole story.
Well, I'm getting into it. Thanks for interrupting.
Oh, but you like spoiled it. You were like, let me tell you this story about how humans are batteries for robots in the future. It's called The Matrix, and it starts with a guy who's a hacker. Like, why would you tell the...
Well, I mean, that's but how it starts. It was my birthday, and she shows up in front of my door. I had no expectations whatsoever. She just shows up. It was incredible. She had told me that she wants to come to Berlin, but in September or so. And then she just shows up with her boyfriend Vanya, and then it was just amazing. I had just woken up, so I was still really like in a daze. So I didn't understand what was happening.
What time was it?
I think it was 10. Like I was awake by 8 or something, but I didn't work out that morning, I remember, because the workout I had scheduled got canceled. And so I didn't fully wake up. I was still kind of in a daze, and when the door rang, I thought it was the post, the mailman.
Oh,
and the mailman just didn't show up, so I was like, what's going on? I told him like, I live on this and this floor. And then
didn't they say Amazon package?
No.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to, but apparently they were afraid that the voice might give it away. Yeah. And then they showed up, and it was amazing. I had to work, but then we met up for lunch and then dinner, and it was great. Next day was my birthday, so they came one day before my birthday. The next day was my birthday. I worked out that day with some buddies of mine, Tarek and Simon. We had a good workout. And then we then all went to meet my sister and Vanya. We went to a Mexican place. We ate there. We chilled. We went to a waffle place with ice cream. We ate there. And then I get a call out of nowhere from Mr. Ali Hasnain. And, he was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I know we were publishing our episode tomorrow, but I just didn't have time to work on it. So I was like, hey, no worries. It's no big deal. We're going to do it. And then what did you say? You said, like, on the phone, you said something like, and while I was taking that phone call, my sister whips out her camera and points it at me. And I was like, what the fuck is, like, I didn't think anything actually at that time. I wasn't thinking anything. I thought, okay, why is she filming me? But I just thought, okay, I guess she wants to see how you're congratulating me for birthday. That's what I thought. And then also Tarek pointed out his camera, so I was like, why are two people? But I didn't think about it much. And then you said something like, where are you? Like I said, you asked, what are you guys doing? And I said, yeah, we're eating waffles at this waffle place. And you're like, oh, where's that? And I, as a joke, said, oh, what? Are you also in Berlin? And then you're like, no. And then we just talked a bit more. And then you said, that's weird because I'm walking past that exact cafe. And I was like, what? And I look up, and then you're approaching. And I was so happy, and I was freaking out. And I saw the video because my sister filmed it, right? And then like the people around them, they were also smiling around us because they understood what was happening. And then I also understood why my sister and Tarek were filming.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
It was a great surprise. Thank you so much. And then we had a lovely time. We ate waffles there. Then we went to an Indian place that my boss recommended. We always look right from the outside. It looked a bit cheap, but it was great food and good price.
And that's the thing is that
So cheap.
it looked like just a random ass restaurant.
Yeah.
And it didn't even look there was nothing that gave away that it was Indian except for the fact that it said Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
Because it looked like a standard beer house, right?
It looked like a standard beer house. It looked like a German. And then they had a huge German company that sponsors them, like listed.
Yeah.
So you'd really think it's a...
Yeah. And it says and on the front it says cocktails, happy hour,
€4. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and so then
really
you're
cheap.
like, why? And then just by the smell, I was like, oh, that smells so good. Do you guys want to eat here? And then you were like, yeah, my boss actually recommends this place.
Yeah, because I always walk past that place. It looks so cheap. And I walked past that day before with my sister and Vanya. We walked past that restaurant and my boss was sitting there. So he randomly bumped into him. He was like, oh, come here. It's a good... And he's of Indian heritage. So, I trusted his instincts and then it was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, so I flew in for 24 hours to surprise Pascal.
Not even.
23.
Yeah, no, not even,
hours.
dude. You arrived at like noon, I think, here in Germany, right? Or
no,
1
I
p.m.
arrived
or
at
something.
2 and at
2
3
p.m.
I had met you. Something like that.
Yeah, so you were here
and then
for...
I flew out at 9:10. Yeah, that's true. It was 20 hours. I was in Berlin, yeah. Jet setting, bro.
Damn, dude. I was so happy. Honestly, I was... It took me completely by surprise. You thought you had ruined the surprise by kind of joke, right? When I said, well, you were also in Berlin? But I
was
had
like
zero
I was
clue.
like, oh,
I really had,
I was like,
no idea.
Whereas usually what I would have, if I was actually not in Berlin, I would have been like, yeah, man, I'm in Berlin. I'm going to come visit you guys in a second. That's what I would have said actually if I wasn't in Berlin. But
right.
I was like, nah, dude, of course not. Nah.
It's funny because I told Tarek because I had planned a surprise for his birthday. So I told him, look, don't think about anything. Don't worry about it. And he was like, yeah, okay. And for some reason, because we had planned on going to cryotherapy, the cold therapy, right? And he was like, should we go on Saturday at 4 p.m.? And he just stares at me. And I was like, okay, that's a bit odd the way he said it. So I was like, okay, maybe he's planning. And I told him again, like, dude, I don't know. Don't plan anything. It's fine, really. I just want to spend time with you. And he was like, all right. And then, yeah. So thanks to him, he asked you. He kind of planned the whole thing.
Tarek was the mastermind. He was the mastermind.
The legend mastermind.
The legend.
Yeah.
But anyways, I actually got some good feedback for our podcast last week. And,
oh wait, I'm not done with my birthday yet, dude. What the fuck?
Oh, my bad. Sorry, dude.
No, man, I kind of am. But we had a great time.
Thank you so much. Your birthday was a week ago.
It was a week ago, exactly. But oh man, the food we ate that day, like the Indian food, was great. I think we had another dessert then, and then we went for Korean food, which was really good. That was nice. And then actually, remember, it was really nice how. At that Korean restaurant, actually, someone I went on a date with months ago, was working there. So, I thought it could be maybe awkward or anything. Like, nothing had happened. We had just one date and, nothing happened. But then it was all cool and she was so nice and she found out that it was my birthday that she actually...
How did she find out?
Because you guys told her.
No, because we sang Happy Birthday
yeah, you sang
at the
Happy
top
Birthday
of our lungs.
Yeah.
The whole freaking block knew that it was your birthday.
Yeah. And then she was so nice that she gave us a free dish. Like a complete
that
dish.
was super nice.
That was super nice.
And it was a really tasty dish as well.
Oh, super tasty. And she's really nice. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, so it was great.
Yeah, so I thank you so much for that birthday. And then I remember we wanted to still chill, but I was so tired that day. Like, before you had arrived, I was really like, thanks, guys, but I really want to take a nap now. I was so tired. And then you had arrived, and then that gave me a natural boost. But then by the end of the day, it just...
But it was nice how we did it, because everyone was really tired at the end.
Yeah.
And then we met up anyways for a coffee. So
in the morning.
Really cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
That was cool, man. I really so happy, and thank you to you. Thank you to my sister and Vanya, and thanks to Tarek for orchestrating the whole thing. I mean, amazing thing.
The mastermind,
awesome.
the legendary mastermind.
The legend. The legend.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, I wanted to say that we got some good feedback for our podcast last week. Apparently the episode was really enjoyable because it was like relatable. And specifically what the guy Jamel, the most
Wait a second. People cannot relate to Harry Potter talk and Dark Knight jokes, Arnie jokes. No one can relate to that. It's only us.
Look. He's telling me, giving me feedback on last week's episode. He doesn't sit there listening every week and like taking notes and like figuring it out. I just think that what he told me was that there's a certain podcast, and that podcast sometimes, even though it's a good podcast, sometimes that podcast can get a little boring because they'll talk to each other as about their own friends and stuff like that, and then it's
which we're kind of doing, I think. But
yeah, exactly. No, but I'm just letting you know. I mean,
yeah,
I'm letting you know on the podcast about some feedback. It's just something to talk about, and it's from my buddy Jamil, who's the. Can I tell you a funny story?
Sure.
Yeah. So we were at an open mic, Jamil and myself, right? And it was me, and then Jamil was afterward. No, sorry, the other way around. Jamil, and then it was me afterwards. And then I go outside, and this is something I do. I stand outside, and like I'll catch someone's eye, and I'll talk to them and stuff. You know, just to like get to know people and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's such an easy opener if you've already been on stage.
Oh, for sure.
Like, hey, what's up, and things. And so I was talking to this guy and his buddy, and the guy was like, "Yo, man, I really, really liked your jokes." And I was like, "Dude, thanks a lot, man. That really means a lot." And he was like, "Yeah, man, you talked a lot about, I guess you're from Tunisia, right? Because you talked a lot about being from Tunisia." And I was like, no. I was like, "Buddy, I think you have me mistaken for someone else." And his friend was like, "Yo, man, that wasn't him." His friend was like mortified. And he had... for anyone who doesn't know how Jamil looks, you need to... you can find him on Instagram and stuff as well, Jamil. But and Jamil would agree. The only thing that we have in common is that we're brown, but he's not even that brown, Right. He's not even that dark skinned. So this guy had for him, apparently the two of us look exactly the same because I guess we have black hair or whatever, and we're not from Austria. And he had mixed us up. So Jamil and I always laugh about that, about how we basically people. So we since then also randomly we haven't gotten spots on the same shows, and now we fantasize that every organizer, when they put me on the lineup, they think they've put Jamil as well. They think, and if they put Jamil, then they think they've already put Ali on the lineup. So
Thursday you went on a show together though.
We did, yeah, I know. But so let's say every time we're not on a show together.
Debunked your theory, dude.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Ruined the joke, dude. Anyways, but that was the fun thing. So Jamil gave us the feedback about the stuff.
That apparently was a great show, right?
It was a really good show. It was a really good show with your buddy Julia.
Yeah.
And it was a...
Tyrol represent.
Exactly. Tyrol, baby. Tyrolian.
Tyrol. Yeah.
Some people say that Tyrol.
Really, Tyrol?
Yeah, Ausländer, they say that. Tyrol.
Ah, okay.
American Ausländer.
Tyrol. Well, it's a nice place.
Just like, cool. What's his face? John F. Kennedy. Ich bin ein Berliner.
Oh, yeah. Berliner, yeah.
Berliner.
Yeah, I mean, I know a guy who said, I asked him once, "Oh, what's your favorite place in California?" Because he raved about it. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, Venice Beach."
Venice Beach.
Yeah. Instead of Venice Beach.
Yeah, I've got a buddy.
But to be honest, I think that's what he said. But I think looking back, only then did I realize, because I thought he meant Venice Beach, but I think he meant Van Nuys, which is another town. So I think he might have said it correctly, but I thought in my head, oh my God, I think he said.
So maybe he's laughing at you because
for thinking I didn't tell him because I didn't want to be a.
Oh, you didn't tell him, okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. We got good feedback. That's great. That's one good feedback for last week.
I mean, some people send us feedback. They let us know,
Yeah.
I get a lot of nice feedback, like quit, stop.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
do
I
it.
talked to a friend, and without mentioning names because it's a bit more critical, but I think she asked, so do you feel like how's it going with the podcast? I said, yeah, I think it's a good good exercise, and I do feel we're getting better. And she raised her eyebrows, kind of like body language wise, indicating like, oh fuck, he thinks it's getting better. That's the thing I got.
Or
And
were
then I
you
was like,
just reading in? I mean,
no, I'm pretty well. Whatever. I do think we're
I
getting
mean, because
better.
I
And
honestly not a single person who I've talked to about the podcast,
has listened to the
and
podcast.
I've
Exactly.
told them, dude, tell me straight up, you know, like we could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
you know?
think
And
that's the
I've
best
and
thing.
not a single person has indicated that we're getting worse or just staying the same.
No,
they've
but no, that's true. However,
Yeah.
I do think many have told us. Daniel Ryan Spalding, for example, a great comedian from Berlin, he keeps telling me that it's basically you and I just laughing the whole time.
about
That's
our
basically-
stuff, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
So, and he's a really funny guy. So he says
I
that.
guess
Other
that's
people
what
say,
I guess
other people
that's what
people kept saying I'm very giggly, right? That also true. I think people have told me directly, like, oh, look, whatever you say, it seems a bit interview-ish, which might also be true. I think it is.
like you're
Definitely,
interviewing
but,
me.
exactly,
You're
about
interviewing
your
someone
private
who
life.
no one is interested in knowing the answer.
What would you like me to? What would you like me to ask you, dude? If you write a memoir, what would it? What would that be called?
It would be called Memoir of Memories.
Memoir
I
of
don't know, dude.
Memories.
You're putting
That's
me
not
on the
that bad.
spot,
Memoir
man.
of Memories.
Memoir of Memories.
Yeah. Wow.
I would try and
Alliteration, man.
remember my memories.
MMMOM. Memoir of
MOM.
Memories.
Maybe I should
And
start
then,
a
and then there's a
band called
picture of you
M-
at the beach looking into the horizon, looking down
No,
the
so I
looking at the sun.
think I've changed my mind. I don't want to write a memoir called Memoir of Memories. I want to start a band called Memoir of Memories.
Mhm.
And I want that
That's
beach
pretty good.
thing to be our first
Album cover.
cover. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Am I in the band as well?
No.
Oh. I can play
Yeah,
the
you can be in the
triangle
band.
for you.
You can be in the band,
Ding.
dude.
Yeah?
You can laugh at our jokes.
Dude, I was thinking, how cool would it be to open for a band? I know it's not the best gig, but imagine it's a huge band and you're at a festival where there are like 20, 33, 30, 50,000 people, and you just stand in front of them and tell jokes. Even if 1,000 people laugh out of the 50,000, that will be a huge noise.
Dude, honestly, every time I've seen a comedy show at a rock thing, the rock people have just not been interested because
Yeah,
they're
that's
there
true.
for music,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really hard. I think that if you could, I think that if you're really good, you could probably turn it around, but
Very
it
hard.
would definitely be an interesting challenge. But I think
Even
me
if you're just
personally, I
emceeing,
would-
you don't have to do comedy. I think even if you're just emceeing, I think that would be freaking
guess.
awesome.
dude, the most cringy was there's this band here, I forget their name, but they're pretty big in Vienna, and it was so weird. Like we were filming them, and just before they came, a guy came out and was doing comedy for like 20 minutes, and he must have said at least 5 times during his set, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna do a couple of jokes." And then the band will be here. Just be patient.
Oh,
He must have
shit.
said it 5
Was it at
freaking times,
Rathaus?
and
I think I've seen something like that too. Oh, it was horrible. It was
dude,
very
it
cringe.
was so cringy. I felt so bad for the guy, and I was like, why are you booking a comedian before a rock show and everyone's
Yeah.
drunk?
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Like, no one's interested in seeing some dork on a huge stage full of music,
Yeah.
like full of equipment and stuff,
Yeah.
and they've got all their props set up, and some dork like, "Hey man, let me tell you something. I was in the U-Bahn yesterday, and some guy got in before he let me out. Isn't that great?" It's like no one wants to hear that crap.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird. It's not the
That's-
same.
No. Oh,
You know?
hey, by the way, dude, I co-hosted in German for the first time this week.
I
a few days
heard.
ago.
Wait,
Oh.
it was in German?
Yeah, it was in German.
oh nice. And how was it?
Another comedian was not here this week, and he has an open mic. So my buddy Richie and I co-hosted. So Richie kind of suggested also that we do it together, which was awesome. And I had a great time. I mean, very few people showed up, unfortunately, only 5. And then we had like 5-6 comedians. So that was a bit, rocky start for sure. But I think it was a great experience for Richie and I to host. And also the final comedian was amazing. So he really saved the show, I thought. And he was a very, very experienced comedian.
German guy,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was great. There's this new comedy club here in Berlin. And that's where we did it. And it was fun.
That's awesome, man.
And we got good feedback. I mean, we got helpful feedback as well, saying, like, don't try to make jokes. Just try to make people really have a good time, make them relax, and then it worked. And then the comedy show will be better. That's what we tried to do. And I tried to do crowd work, just to make people feel more comfortable. And I feel like now in German, I'm also more relaxed on stage than I used to, at least.
That's good. Like since the co-hosting or before it?
Also before already.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hosting is the bomb, man.
Yeah, yes and no, because I don't think you can really practice your set. It is a different skill set. So basically your job is not to make people laugh, but to make people just have a good time, right?
Yeah.
So to shine the light on other comedians, which is great. But I think hosting is the best opportunity to practice the crowd working skills.
Yeah, I mean, one of the 3 hosts in the Thursday show.
Yeah.
Man, he was so good. He was like, you know what I'm saying?
Crowd work wise.
Dude, he went into this story, and the way he went into the story, I thought I was watching like a master at work, because he went into the story about basically if you have to pick up your drunk girlfriend, and then he just played the whole scenario out, and people were dying. But the way he went into it, because he was talking to a couple. And then he was asking them questions, and he asked them maybe 5 or 6 or 7 questions, and then he went into the story, and I was like, no way.
It seems so natural. Right.
I was like, no way he's telling this story off the top of his head.
Yeah, it's just a good segue. Yeah.
Exactly. He masterfully manipulated it. And Jamila and I were talking, and for a moment I was watching this guy, and I was like, am I watching like a Netflix special? Because there was like no sign of like him being and I've seen him like for maybe 1.5 years. I've seen him a couple of times.
Yeah.
So this time I was watching it, and I was like, there's no sense of like he's thinking about something or rehearsing something. He's just talking. Like that's how kind of natural it came across, that he was just talking.
Right.
And it was crazy. It was really, really good.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I think it's just it helps a lot with the stage time, which is great, because that works your kind of
for sure. You feel more comfortable on stage, that's for sure.
Exactly. And I mean, 5-7 minute spots, you can do a little bit of crowd work, but when you're hosting, that's when you can do the real crowd work, because then you can like remember things, bring them in between the comedians, bring them in at the end or at the beginning of the second half when you have a little more time.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's excited, man.
You're going to keep hosting? You got anything else
that was
in the works?
I just filled in. Well, yeah, I will actually have big news ahead. I'll be hosting my first show, except for Kimchi Curry Christmas special that we did last December. But well, I wasn't really hosting. I just announced you, and then you did the hosting, right? Which is awesome. And FYI to our listeners, Nav and Jamil, we're doing another one.
Nav, Jamil, listen up.
We're probably gonna do one in December, if COVID is fine. So if COVID allows us to, then we'll definitely do one in December again in Vienna. Maybe one in Berlin also sometime, or maybe Prague or Budapest.
Yeah, for sure. Anything. I mean, I think that it's a cool idea if we do the Christmas show.
Yeah.
That's true. We just figure it out and do it somewhere, but that would be a cool thing.
For sure. Yeah. And for now, so I'm going to probably do a weekly show that's going to start in September.
Well, that's cool that you're doing
it's
weekly.
Called Joke Wars. I'm going to host
Wars
it
with
Simon.
a Z at the end?
No. So it's gonna be comedians battling it out with some pun jokes or whatever. The theme of their jokes will be determined by us week by week, and then it's gonna be like Yo Mama's joke or roast jokes, whatever it is. So yeah. And Simon, it was also nice to hear, like, I think you and my sister said that too. She was so happy to see that because she hung out. She finally met my Berlin friends, and she was so happy that I have good friends here. And I think I was just thinking, it was a true blessing. I realized when I was spending time with you guys, how grateful I can be for having such great friends. And I mean, you even flew here just for 20 hours, man. Insane. And that's the biggest blessing for sure.
Well, I'm glad you feel like that. It's good. It's good to feel like that. It's good to feel complete,
and I think you also like my
sense.
Berlin friends, right? I mean, we hung out with Tarek. You knew Tarek already before. Simon, he's amazing.
Awesome dude.
And then James, amazing.
Yeah, James, super, super chill, awesome dude. And you're like, I mean, 2 of those 3 friends, you've converted them to comedy, right?
Yeah.
You're like bringing in new converts, basically.
I guess they just realized when they saw me, I guess if he's doing it, I can do it too. And that's how they started, which I also told them. I think that's what I told them too. And they also saw the difference. That's what Tarek said. He sees how I started because he saw me. I think the 5th time I did stand up, he saw me, and now he still sees me, and he says it's a huge difference. And also in general in life, I'm just more confident, and that's what he wants for himself too. He is already confident, but still.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, it's always good to like.
It's a training.
You'll never stop like developing yourself in things, right? There's no need to ever stop. There's always something you can learn or get better at or whatever.
Yeah, and James, for example, I mean, everyone who saw him complimented him. Like, I saw him the very first time he went on stage. That was last November, and he seemed so confident on stage. And then now he's done it 3 times, and people have complimented him because he seems so confident on stage because he's also done so much public speaking beforehand. So not stand up, and that's So whatever you do, and I tell this people, that's what I tell Tarek. He just wanted to improve his public speaking first. And he went to Toastmasters, which is this groups of people where I also went in the past. They meet up so that you hold public speeches to get better at it. And I told him, look, instead of that, that's also good. But why not try stand-up? Because then you'll also learn how to be funnier. And you'll also meet people who are interested in comedy. You will also meet more people who are in our age group. And he was like, okay, I'm going to try it out. And then he did. Yeah. So, yeah. Good stuff, man. Comedy is some good.
Comedy's the best, man. It's good, and you get such good friends, right? I mean, you have such good.
I think
James,
so. I mean,
you actually know through friends. James, you know through friends. Simon is one of your comedy friends, right?
Yeah.
And then you just get to know so many interesting people.
Exactly. I mean, also just hang out with the people who you want to spend time with, right? There's so many comedians who I'm friends with, but I don't really spend time with them. Yeah. Whereas Tarek, obviously, I was friends with Tarek before, but. Simon, for example, I met through comedy only recently, but we are already really good buddies. I saw him earlier today for the training. Yeah, because spend time with the people who think alike, and we're all very ambitious, driven, and he works out a lot. So we're so many similar interests, and he doesn't do drugs. I don't do drugs. Richie, the same. I saw him yesterday again. Sandy, another cool guy. So we all, anyways. There's so many, and then there are other cool people who I'd love to hang out with more, but I guess it just didn't happen yet.
Yeah, limited time. But yeah, no, 100%, dude.
Yeah,
that's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
but look at us, man, just talking about how sweet our lives are.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
remember my hey, do you have sugar?
What? Oh. That creepy, man. That creepy smile you have. You really did it there. It is really a bit creepy? Like. What? Do it again. It reminds me of.
Do you have
it kind of sugar? Looks like Zoolander's Magnum. Zoolander's Magnum or Blue Steel. That's how it looks like.
I thought Zoolander's Magnum Blue Steel was like the bomb. I didn't know.
It is cool, but not when you. Yeah, you asked the waitress. for sugar, and then
No,
you did
I
that.
asked if she has honey. Exactly.
Oh, if she has honey, and then you did that, and
instead of sugar.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But dude, okay, what do you think? Do you think stand-up makes someone more attractive? So for you and I, definitely, right? If a girl, for example, does stand-up, that already makes her far more attractive because she's into something we like as well. But for the general population, does that make someone more attractive?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, does it make you irresistible? Definitely not.
No. Okay.
Does it raise like if attraction is like like if there's levels of attraction and there's a level like 0 is the worst and 100 is the best, and then whatever you have, I guess it gives you like +1 or +2. So like if you were naturally your attraction level is 0, like you're repulsive, if you do stand up you're at level 1.
I don't know, because
you think it's more?
I don't know, because I definitely feel like people who go to shows already are interested in comedy, right? So hanging out with them, you can definitely feel like, oh, they do find you more attractive than the, let's say, general population. And this week, for example, I was hanging out with some. I met them at the comedy at a comedy show, and then we talked, and then she this one girl, she already has a boyfriend. Very nice, has a boyfriend, but she said, wow, if I were single, that one comedian, and she was talking about a comedian who made her laugh really hard. She said, look, I would take him home. So that was, and she said he's actually normally not her type, but he made her laugh so hard, she said she was so attracted to him. So I guess it does, I guess it depends from person to person.
I guess it does.
Just like with anything, right?
Yeah,
I mean, some people are like, if someone like, right, if a girl is into Harry Potter, for example, you and I would find her more attractive than if she were into, I don't know.
Yeah, well, obviously, but like if someone, like if someone is familiar in any way, so familiar in interest, familiar in the kind of the way, the ethnic group that you're in and stuff.
Yeah.
All of those things, those are all things that generally, not always, but generally raise attraction. So if someone's interested in comedy and you do comedy and you do it well, then of course it'll have some plus points. But will it like seal the deal for you? I don't know. I think it's much more complicated than that.
Right. Yeah. Of course, man. It doesn't mean you get guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
know
what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just like, honestly, if the comedy is like, man, it's a lot of fun, man. It's like, it's the best thing ever.
Comedy alone is already good enough. And I was thinking, I mean, we're in such a blessed situation.
Yeah, and just the people you meet. Like, even if like I'm obviously very, very interested. It's probably my top priority to be as good as I can be, and to be better and to get better and to focus on that. But even if I only, like, all the people I've met and all the cool friends I've had and some of the cool experiences, like, if I only have those, then that's already I'm so grateful for and so happy about. But of course, my main interest is really to make it better. But that almost even seems like a plus, based on already.
I mean, I already see it in so many, I think, friends, and even my sister told me this. Like, they do kind of envy how we have already found something that we really want to pursue, and we will never give up.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're so blessed to do so, and many people never find it in life.
Well, I think honestly that is one of the biggest struggles of like our generation, is that they don't know, like it, like, and exactly. My theory, and this is like a non-scientific person's theory, you don't take it or leave it, but like my theory is that, like, a million years ago or 100,000 years ago, like, you were a hunter, or you protected the village, or you stood guard at the chief's, like, tent, or you know what I mean? There was like strict things that people needed. They needed people to hunt. They needed people to skin the animals. Everyone had a role, right?
Yeah.
And generally, what your father's role was as a son, that was your role. What your mother's role was as a daughter, that was your role. So it was like much more simple, right?
Right.
And
Right.
nowadays, it's like there's so much you can do. There's like everything is saturated, and then on top of that, you've got all these TV shows and all the Instagram and stuff where it's like, hey, look how awesome and successful I am. So like, you know, you've got all these things you can do. You've got all these ideal versions, which may or may not be real of what you can do. So like, of course, you want the ideal version, but then all the things that you have don't seem as good as the ideal version. So like, there's this huge confusion.
Right. That's why, honestly, Instagram is very unhealthy because you keep comparing yourself.
Exactly, and I think generally that the biggest struggle that people face today is that they don't know what they want to do, you know. And that was something I had for a long time, and that was when I was at the mentally at the worst was when I didn't have a clue who I am and what I want and what, you know. I couldn't give you a one sentence or two sentences or three sentences that sums up my character because I had no clue.
Yeah.
You know?
Same. I was thinking, so this is also wanted to, because we have to wrap it up slowly, but there's something I also want to end the podcast on. I assume you heard the bad news today.
I did indeed. Yeah. And rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, freaking legend. Only 43, so
that's insane. And Black Panther 2 was supposed to come out, right? And
Black Panther 2 was too.
And he just started to become really famous, so he could have. It's a pity.
I mean, but I'll tell you something. I suspect, I don't know for a fact, but I suspect that if you asked him, do you have any regrets? Do you have anything else you would want to do? I suspect that he would say no. Yeah. And I think that there's a lesson you can learn from that as well.
For sure. So the person who broke the news to me was Simon today in the morning at the workout. And he was also saying, look, this guy, he pursued his goal and he died at 43. And that's a lesson to us.
At the top of his game. At the top of his game.
That's for sure. And that we should learn from it because we never know when we're going to die. 43 is so young.
It's so young.
We have no idea when we could die and just pursue it. Don't wait. There's no time to waste, actually.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah. And he inspired with that movie, Black Panther, right? He inspired millions of people. He also played Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player in the MLB, the Major League Baseball. I didn't watch the movie, but apparently it's also really good. Right, with that movie, I'm sure he also. I mean, just a very inspirational guy. Black Panther was amazing.
For sure, and like I felt like such a calm, relaxed dude, because I didn't know him before. You know, I'm a huge MCU fan. I basically only watch MCU films, and I didn't know him before that, and I just remember thinking like, wow, he's like thrust upon like the biggest stage of them all. You know, into a tens of $billion industry. He's like playing this huge character, and like never have I seen him flinch. Never have I seen him like, you know, he's always calm, always zen. It feels in all the interviews at least. And of course, I know that doesn't necessarily speak up on the person, but just from what I've seen, I feel like a very like relaxed, calm dude. And everyone says he was really nice as well.
Yeah, and it's incredible because he already knew 2016 that he had cancer, so. He was fighting it the whole time, and but he still focused on his work.
2017, I believe, is when Civil War came out, which was his first MCU movie, or 2016 maybe even. So I guess
I mean, looking back, I remember I watched an interview of his with the cast, and he started crying. He started sobbing.
Oh, really?
And I thought, I think, because he was talking about how grateful he is to have been part of this movie. Because he got so many messages from black kids, black teenagers saying like, thank you so much. This is so inspirational for me. And I think that's what moved him. And obviously that's already reason enough to cry. But I'm sure maybe also he was so moved because he was like, he knew like, maybe I'm going to be dead quite soon. And I'm so glad I could be part of it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But
I mean, anyways, great dude and freaking inspirational. A cultural phenomenon, that movie that he was in, he's immortalized based on that. So
great movie. I freaking love the movie.
He and his family can be proud of that, that's for sure.
Yeah. Right.
All right,
we didn't want to end it on a sad note, but I don't think we are, right?
I honestly don't think it's a sad note.
He's a great guy.
Is it sad that he's dead? Of course it's sad, but honestly, like when a person like that who gave it a go and honestly made it to the top of the game.
Yeah, he absolutely did, and he's so inspiration to us. And let's not carpe diem.
It's dude. Like how else if you have to go at some point, and how else are you gonna go?
That's the thing. So. People always say, like, oh, I got that. I had that car accident and I almost died, and that changed my life. I got this cancer diagnosis and that changed my life because I had to think about my life. The thing is, you and I, we already have a death sentence. We do. We just don't know when we're gonna die, and we think we're invincible because it's gonna be hopefully decades ahead, but we could die any second. So we already have this death sentence. That's how we should live life. We could die any moment, and so really use the time wisely.
Yeah. For sure, 100%.
Yeah, dude. So thank you so much for visiting me. I freaking appreciated it. I love you. I'm going to say that on the podcast. I love you.
I love you too, dude. I love you.
My mom doesn't want me to say this on the podcast, I think. She already told me, like, oh, it's a bit too gay. And, well, I love you, Mom. I love Ali. Yeah, whatever.
What did you turn? You turned 28 or 27?
27.
27. Well, you're 27 years older right now. You don't have to listen to your mom, dude.
At 26, I should.
Yeah. At 26, come on, man.
Yeah, I should still listen
26,
right.
But 27, you can start. Like, then
right,
you don't have to listen to mom.
Right. Oh, dude, I just have to survive this year, man. 27 is a year where many artists pass away. So I don't know why I did quote-unquote artists, but I guess comedians are artists too, in a way. So, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine as long as you don't die. They all die of overdose, by the way. So, Kurt Cobain and
overdose of laughing too hard, maybe.
Wait, sorry. Kurt Cobain absolutely did not die of an overdose. He shot himself in the head. My bad.
Right. But then Avicii was 28, so he was a bit older. But Amy Winehouse.
Well, anyways, we were about to end it on a high note, and then
right
back down.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to be back next week. And follow Ali at Ali the Hasnain on Instagram. Pascal Hausberger on Instagram. That's me. And we're going to be back next week on Spotify, YouTube. Please follow us. If you have any questions, please send us a DM with a video of your question. And we're going to answer it for you during the podcast. If you want to get Ali's wisdom, then please send us a question and Ali's gonna answer them for you. Pascal's and I might also put my 2 cents in. And put my 2 cents in. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So thank you so much, guys, and see you next week.
See you next week, boys, and everyone.
Peace out.